Hello and welcome to Garden of Luma, where I provide you with tips for growing edibles in hot climates. Hello everybody, Joe here with Garden of Luma. If you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe to stay updated on the latest videos. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that's really critical for growing fruit trees, especially tropical fruit trees, in a hot, dry climate. And so I'm in the Phoenix, Arizona area, zone 9B, in the desert where we get a lot of sun. But one thing to consider is where you plant your fruit trees and the sun exposure throughout the year. So if you're going to plant your fruit tree in the springtime, the sun is going to be positioned a lot differently in the sky than it will be in the fall and winter times. So you may be thinking, oh, hey, this is a great spot right now. When you go to plant, it's getting a lot of sunlight, proper sunlight, getting that morning sun or whatever you want. And then come winter time, it's going to be either fully shaded or barely getting any sun. So you really want to consider the positioning of the sun throughout the year. Those tropical fruit trees, you may want to plant them in a shady spot in the spring because you're thinking about those hot times of the year, the hot summer months. But in the winter, if they're shaded and cold, it's not going to be good for those trees. So you want to keep those in areas where they're going to get a good amount of sun throughout the winter months. So that's really critical, especially for those tropical fruit trees. So like that south exposure, I know it can be hard during the summer months, especially when they're young. You may have to use that shade or whatever to get them through. But you really want to think about those winter times where every little bit of extra warmth helps those types of trees. Same thing with the stone fruit types of trees, or those trees that like those chill hours. Putting them in all day sun, is great in the summertime or whatever. But in those winter months, those are the spots you're going to want those trees in shade, so more of those north facing areas. And so I'll go into the yard here and just kind of show you a little bit of my yard and the sun exposure and what I had to look for to give you guys some helpful tips there. I actually, in my previous residence, photographed different spots throughout different times of the year and compared just where the shade was, where the sun was. And so just things you need to consider as far as microclimate and stuff. So let's go take a look and talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so in the winter time, the sun is barely over the tops of these houses here. So that's where it comes here. This wall is north facing. So when the sun is that low in the sky right there in the wintertime, this is pretty much shaded out here almost to about my raised bed right here. So I would say, a good 5 feet from the wall, 5-6 feet is just in shade pretty much mostly. And so that's why I have a lot of my stone fruits up against the back of the wall. So you can see my pomegranate, my jujube, back behind it is my peach tree. So things like that that'll go dormant and lose their leaves, my figs. I put these closer to my north facing wall, so these will get a lot of sun in the summertime, but in the winter it's going to be more shaded, more cool, give them more of that chill. So this corner of my yard here is south facing, so it gets sun pretty consistently throughout the day. And as you can see, this is where I keep one of my guava trees in the ground, my mulberry, Jamaican cherry. I have my Barbados over there, so a mango. So this gets a lot of sun throughout the day, and even into the winter time, it'll still get sun over here in this corner. My yard is kind of angled slightly, so the back of my house here is south facing, and then it kind of moves into east facing here. So this is west over here. So the tops of this tree get sun throughout the day. So like this corner of my yard here is pretty much due east. So it'll get a lot of that early morning sun. And then the sun, as you can see there, will come up over top of this roof here in the summertime. Now it's starting to be lower in the sky over this way. So these will still get some morning sun, but a lot of shade in the later part of the day. So again, like in the winter months, the sun will be low across the sky there, just towards the back of those houses. Whereas in the summer, it's gonna come up high in the sky here and just be up high across the top here. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit with deciding where to plant your fruit trees. You know, I know now is a good time still to plant, in the fall, in the spring. You know, you can pretty much plant year round here in the Phoenix, Arizona area if you know what you're doing. And so hopefully that helps you guys in planning where to plant your fruit trees, or when you go to plant, knowing where to do that, where the best spots are. Otherwise, you learn the hard way, you plant it and then later on regret planting it there and think about moving it. I've done that plenty of times. So check your yard out, know where the sun is moving throughout your yard throughout the year. Check me out at gardenofluma.com for more tips on gardening and growing fruit trees, especially in hot climates. Thanks for watching.